Something extraordinary is already moving toward you, even if your outer world has not yet revealed it, because life always shifts inwardly before it changes outwardly, and those who understand spiritual law never panic at appearances. The year 2026 is not arriving as an ordinary cycle of days and months, but as a season of power prepared long ago through invisible causes, and for certain individuals, this power will feel undeniable, almost shocking, as if destiny itself has finally decided to speak clearly. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that every event is first decreed in the spiritual realm, and astrology simply shows the timing of these decrees, not their source, for the source is divine intelligence responding to faith, word, and expectation. As the planets prepare their grand alignment, 4 zodiac signs stand directly beneath a beam of authority, influence, and elevation, not by chance, but because their inner readiness now matches the promise written for them. Many people believe power comes from struggle, competition, or force, yet spiritual truth reveals that true power comes from alignment, from standing still in faith while unseen hands arrange circumstances in your favor. In 2026, this alignment becomes unmistakable as Jupiter expands opportunities, Saturn stabilizes foundations, and Mars injects fearless action, creating a spiritual equation that cannot be ignored by those meant to rise. You may have felt delayed, overlooked, or tested in recent years, but delay is never denial in divine law. It is preparation, and preparation always precedes promotion. Florence Scovel Shinn reminded us that when the soul is ready, the thing appears, and 2026 is the appearance year for authority, long cultivated through patience, faith, and inner discipline. Power in this context does not arrive loudly at first. It whispers through intuition, confidence, and a sudden clarity about who you are and what you deserve, and those who listen will move ahead effortlessly while others remain confused. This is why 2026 will not feel equal for everyone, because spiritual rewards are distributed according to consciousness, not desire alone. The 4 zodiac signs, destined for dominance, will notice doors opening without force, resistance dissolving without argument, and recognition arriving without begging, because divine order always removes obstacles when the timing is correct. Even now, as you listen, something within you may stir, not excitement alone, but recognition, as if a forgotten promise is returning to the surface of your awareness. Florence Scovel Shinn often spoke of the spoken word as a wand of power, and those who enter 2026 with disciplined thoughts and fearless affirmations will find that circumstances rearrange themselves with uncanny precision. This is not fantasy, nor blind hope, but law, working as surely as gravity, preparing a dramatic reversal of fortune that will leave many wondering how it happened so suddenly, unaware that it was written long before the calendar revealed its name. As the current shifts deeper towards 2026, the atmosphere grows heavier with meaning, because unseen forces are now rearranging roles, lifting some and humbling others, according to spiritual accuracy rather than human opinion. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that nothing enters a person's experience unless it matches their inner picture, and this truth becomes startlingly visible during this period, when destiny accelerates and consequences arrive swiftly. The 4 zodiac signs chosen for power will sense an unusual pressure building first, a testing of faith, patience, and self-command, for authority is never handed to the unprepared. At times it may feel as though progress has slowed or even reversed, yet this pause is deliberate, like the held breath before a decisive moment, because divine law always creates suspense before revelation. Saturn's influence demands responsibility, stripping away illusions and forcing alignment with truth, while Jupiter silently prepares expansion that can only be sustained by those who have learned discipline. Mars adds intensity, stirring courage but also impatience, and here lies the great test, for acting too soon or speaking from fear can delay the reward that is already scheduled. This is the hidden tension of 2026, the moment where power hovers just out of reach, inviting either trust or doubt, and Florence Scovel Shinn warned that doubt spoken aloud becomes a command to delay good. Many will falter here, misreading the silence as rejection, but those meant to rule will remain inwardly calm, knowing that divine timing is exact and never late. Suddenly, without warning, circumstances will begin to shift. Conversations will change tone, authority figures will offer support, and opportunities will emerge from unexpected directions, creating the illusion of sudden luck when it is actually long-prepared alignment. Wealth, respect, and influence will not appear as burdens, but as natural extensions of identity, because true power feels familiar to those born to carry it. Yet even as success approaches, another layer of suspense unfolds, for power magnifies consciousness, and whatever beliefs remain unresolved will surface quickly. Florence Scovel Shinn emphasized that the subconscious must be impressed with certainty, not fear, because fear undercuts manifestation at the final moment. This is why 2026 demands mastery of inner speech, as careless words spoken in moments of doubt could temporarily blur the path. Still, divine law is merciful, and correction comes swiftly when awareness is present, allowing destiny to resume its course. The 4 zodiac signs aligned for leadership will notice an inner authority awakening, a refusal to shrink, apologize for ambition, or explain their worth, and this quiet confidence will command respect without effort. What makes this year extraordinary is not merely the external success it brings, but the inner transformation that precedes it, turning hesitation into certainty and hope into knowing. As the midpoint of this journey approaches, the question will no longer be whether power is coming, but whether one is willing to fully accept it, for accepting power requires releasing old identities that once felt safe, and this surrender becomes the final gateway before destiny reveals its full design. When the final veil lifts and 2026 fully arrives, there will be no need for proof or permission, because power will announce itself through results that cannot be argued with or denied. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that divine ideas carry their own authority, and when they manifest, they do so with ease, precision, and permanence, leaving no room for struggle or confusion. The 4 zodiac signs prepared for this elevation will realize that the long years of inner work were not wasted, but perfectly invested, as influence, wealth, and respect settle into their lives as natural outcomes rather than desperate achievements. What once felt distant or reserved for others will now feel ordinary, even expected, because consciousness has caught up with promise. The true miracle of 2026 is not sudden success, but sustained power, the kind that grows stronger because it is rooted in spiritual law rather than ego or force. Florence Scovel Shinn reminded us that when one aligns with divine order, competition dissolves, enemies fade, and the right people appear effortlessly, and this principle becomes vividly real during this year. Opportunities will no longer require chasing, for they will seek you out, recognizing authority the way iron responds to a magnet. Money will move with less resistance, respect will follow presence rather than explanation, and leadership roles will emerge organically, as if the world itself has decided who must stand at the front. Yet, even in triumph, humility remains essential, because true power is stewardship, not domination, and those who remember this will find their influence expanding beyond expectation. This year also brings a deep sense of purpose, as success is paired with meaning, ensuring that achievements do not feel hollow but fulfilling and divinely supported. Florence Scovel Shinn spoke often of joy as the highest vibration, and joy will become the signature of those who accept their destined authority without guilt or fear. Looking back, the confusion, delays, and trials will suddenly make sense, revealing themselves as necessary steps that refined character and strengthened faith. The world may call it luck, astrology, or coincidence, but you will know it as law fulfilled, word made flesh through belief, discipline, and unwavering inner speech. As the year unfolds, affirmations spoken with conviction will continue to shape outcomes, reinforcing the truth that destiny responds to clarity, not wishful thinking. This is why repeating words of power becomes essential, not as ritual, but as recognition of what is already established in the unseen. The reign that begins in 2026 is not temporary, because it is built on alignment, not impulse, and what is aligned cannot be shaken. If you feel resonance as these words unfold, trust it, because recognition is the soul remembering its assignment. Power has always been your inheritance, and now the appointed time has arrived for it to express itself openly, confidently, and without apology. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.